What's up, second graders? Welcome back for another reading lesson. Second graders, something crazy happened last night. Remember how we've been talking about the scientists that study reading? It was so funny because we've been learning all about scientists who study reading. And then last night, I got like a very important email blast talking about a new piece of research that reading scientists had figured out. I wrote it down on a piece of Postit Note just so I could share it with you all because I couldn't believe I happened to get an email about the exact thing that we've been talking about. Let me read you my Postit Note. Are you ready? Here's what it said. Researchers have found that second graders and the books they read often contain language that is being used in really playful ways, beautiful ways, or new, unusual, inventive ways. Second graders who are especially skilled at reading pay attention when a writer has used words in a special way because they know that those parts require that they stop and think more. Basically, it's saying that now that you're in second grade, the kind of books you're going to be reading aren't going to be so simple like kindergarten and first grade books where it basically just tells you the story. This research says that writers who write for second grade and older kids and grown-ups too, they start to use language and words in really cool ways, in special ways. Sometimes they use funny, playful words. Sometimes they use beautiful, gorgeous words. Sometimes they use unusual and very inventive words. But that second grade readers who are really good are training their ears and their eyes to notice these special ways that authors are using their words. Now, as I was reading this email last night, I was thinking to myself, well, we've really been talking all about making our reading sound fluent, making it really sound smooth, rereading a bunch of times to make it sound good, scooping up those phrases, talking like characters, matching the mood, and reading at a just right pace. But I wondered, have we been talking about the special language that authors use? We haven't talked that much about that. So today I want to switch from talking about fluent reading to talking about special language. We are going to have a new chart for that. We're still going to work on being fluent readers. We're always going to work on being fluent readers. But we're going to add a new set of strategies during this part of our unit that has to do with special language. Let me take off this chart. We're going to save it for later. And we're going to switch to a new chart that's about understanding literary language. This word literary means like special story language. Okay, so understanding literary language is all about understanding the special language that authors are using in our books. Okay, what are we going to specifically focus on today? Pay attention to special language. Authors for second grade readers, they're going to put in this cool language, and it's almost like they're sitting next to you and they're going, hey, notice this. I put something cool in here. Notice it. And it's our job as great second grade readers to pay attention and notice that special language that authors use. Let's give it a try. We're going to come back today to the book we read at the beginning of this unit, Owl Moon. Remember in the very beginning, we read just part of this first page that was about scooping up. I think we were reading this part to scoop up phrases, or maybe we were reading this part to think about the mood or how the characters would be talking. This book is about a boy and his father, and they're going out of their house and they're going to go owling. They're going to go looking for owls. Well, I'm going to read you a new part of this book today. And I put this little note here at the top to remind me to tell you, can you please watch and listen for any special language. Language that sounds beautiful or interesting or compares to things or just sounds unusual. Any kind of language that doesn't just sound like they're telling you a regular story. Okay? I'm going to read this first part, and if you hear and notice some special language, give me some kind of a signal so powerful that I could even feel it through the video. Okay? I'm going to read this first chunk, and I want you to notice any special language and give me a powerful signal that you noticed it. Here we go. We reached the line of pine trees, black and pointy against the sky, and Pa held up his hand. I stopped right where I was, and I waited. He looked up, as if he were searching the stars, as if reading a map up there. Whoa. Did you just signal me? Did you just give me a signal? I could feel that all the way through the video. We have some special language here, some special, beautiful language that deserves to be reread and really thought about. Now, when we hear and notice that special language, we're going to do 4 things. Paying attention to special language. The first thing you're just going to do is notice it. You've already done that. You're going to train your eyes and your ears to notice when the author uses special, beautiful, interesting, unusual language. The second thing you need to do is you need to reread that special language. Let's do it now. He looked up, as if searching the stars, as if reading a map up there. Third, we need to recall. That basically means to remember. You need to think, I've put a little thought bubble there, what's happening in the story right at this part? Okay, well, the boy and his father, they're out, they're owling, they're looking for an owl. They've stopped, they're looking up at the trees, and then Pa is looking up into the sky looking for those owls. But instead of the author saying, Pa looked up and looked for owls, the author said, he looked up, as if searching the stars, as if reading a map up there. And the last thing we want to do is we want to ask a question. And my question is, what does the author mean by Pa is looking in the stars as if he's reading a map? I'm going to imagine what that might look like. Okay, I'm looking up at the stars. But instead of just looking at the stars, it's like I'm reading a map. Well, how do I usually read a map? Usually I look very carefully and I kind of try to figure out where am I going to go. So maybe Pa's doing that with the stars. Let me try it. I see some stars. Which way am I going to go? So he's not just looking up there real quick like, stars, cool. He's looking up and he's like really searching the stars. He's really studying them and he's wondering, where am I going to go? I love that special language that this author, Jane Yolen, used to describe Pa looking up at the stars. Here's my challenge for you, 2nd grade. Attached to this video or in your seesaw activity is going to be the rest of this page. All right, we stopped right here. This last portion is going to be attached to the video. What I'd like you to do is read that last portion and see if you can notice some special language. Can you notice Jane Yolen doing something else that's special or unique or unusual or beautiful in the way that she writes that page? I want you to try to notice the special language, reread the special language, recall what's happening in the story at that time, and then ask your question, what does Jane Yolen mean when she says this? And see if you can figure it out. And I would love for you to tell somebody at home what you realized about this special language, or tell your teacher in a reading group, or record a video, or upload a comment. Somehow let us know what you think is special language on the last part of that page. and get that brain ready to go on from here, listening and looking always for special language. Because I want to make sure we're doing what these scientists who study reading tell us to do. We have to watch for this special language. It's going to be beautiful, unusual, playful, silly, funny. They're not just going to write normal writing anymore. You are old enough that you're going to be hearing some really special writing and some special language. And that's what we're going to train our brains to notice, the special language. All right, go get to work. I can't wait to see your noticing skills.